Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you'd like to see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, Pro Cyclist episode 53. I enter stage 7 of the Giro d'Italia in just 10th place, but this is the first stage that's really going to begin to separate the field. I am definitely one of the favorites. My team believes strongly that I should win. And looking here, Sam Oomen, Gegenhardt are the only ones that are 82 plus in climbing other than myself. However, the only thing is, you can see from here, my fitness peak already came to an end. So I was supposed to hit a fitness peak here at the Giro. It came early. Because it came early, it was definitely going to end early, but it's also ending way earlier than expected. The fitness peak lasted less than 2 weeks. It is supposed to be between 2 and 3 weeks long. If it lasted one more week, I would have been in pretty good shape. With it ending now, I've got some real concerns whether I'll be strong enough to hang on and claim the Giro. I've got a little bit of tiredness as well. It's only 10%. That's not bad. But by the end of the Giro, we'll see just how severe that is. So I do have a +1 race day condition still. I mean, my fitness is at 97%. It's not like that's just disappeared. But does that mean that by next week I'll begin to crash? It could happen. It really could. So I could have negative race day conditions here pretty soon, and I could pull a Simon Yates and stage 19, go from first by a minute or two or whatever that was, down to well behind Chris Froome. Such a memorable stage from last year. Anyway, so mountain climbing, I've got a +2 on the day. My hills have a +2, so that is fantastic. My acceleration's got a +1. Stamina and resistance +3. Distance-wise, we're just over 200 kilometers, so stamina's not going to be a big factor today, but resistance obviously will, especially on that final climb. It's really not a severe climb, so this category 2 actually is steeper than the final climb. It's just the distance, really. So I don't expect to really blow up the field today. Maybe we have a small group at the finish, 4, 5, 6 riders, but I don't necessarily think everyone's going to get left in the dust today. Now, there's no action going on for the next little bit. Looks like 10 riders have gotten away for the break. They're just about fully together. That last rider's a couple minutes behind the front group. They may or may not catch up to them. So that's a pretty big distance to cover. But it's going to be quiet for a little while here, so I think right around that Category 2 climb, depending on the pace, we'll rejoin there. And if it's really slow, then we probably won't even rejoin until about the final climb if all or most of the field is still together at that point. Final 30K, 9 riders still off the front, 3 minutes ahead. That's a lot closer than where they were. They were out to almost 9 minutes, so there's a very good chance they'll get caught on this final climb. 10 riders giving chase behind the peloton, and that gap is growing. It's out to over 3 minutes now, and the peloton is now at 91 riders left in this one. So we still have a good 3/5, about 60% of the peloton is left from what we started with after the breakaway group got away. We have one man out the back, and he's just about the farthest back in the field. He was our domestique at the front, leading, working for the team, and worked himself early on this series of climbs to the point of fatigue and dropped out the back before any other rider did. And then over those climbs, a small group got got left behind. And you see the rest of my team, a little bit of damage to them. They're definitely not at full strength, and actually we just saw a split in the peloton at the moment, surprisingly. Now, what I'm probably going to do here as the peloton comes back together is maybe I set this up train style and let them kind of one by one lead us out. Why don't we do this? We're going to set everyone to an 87, and I'm going to find my best climber. Get the plus, and then Sandali. So follow the plus, we'll follow Sandali. And then is it Poirot after that? Looks like it might be. Yes. We try something here. A train is definitely not something I usually use on the mountains, but Sky certainly does. So we'll give it a shot. Cassert and then Viviani. Viviani the first to go. And the whole team is in pretty good shape right now. I'm going to wait for things to kind of form up, though, before I really start to attack here as we're hitting the base. Okay, that's going to just about do it. Go 80 for a moment as these guys still kind of... Cassert's still trying to get up here. Come on, you're supposed to be second wheel right now here, Cassart. Figured the little acceleration was going to give you a little bit of space to actually find a way through. Come on. Come on. There you go. Alright, so Viviani. Do your worst.
The lead rider is now more than 2 minutes ahead of the peloton. And there's an attack at the front. He could go all the way.
Okay, damage starting to occur. Peloton shrinking gradually anyway. We're already down to 13K to go on this one. Right now in the back of the group, I'm not feeling a thing, so I'm doing just fine there. The pace is not hurting me one bit, but it is beginning to hurt the pack. Alright, we're going to go like this. And Viviani. Good job, well done, thank you. Peloton one by one shrinking. And as we're pushing 87 now, ooh, Cassart's already done. He didn't have much energy left. But the old...
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
9K. We're not that far behind the lead group, and they are all split up in ones and twos. Comes the first of those guys that we're going to reel in here quite soon. Ooh, Sindali's going to run out of energy here soon. Oh! Attack, attack, attack. Deplus. Skip over Sindari. Sindali's done. Set him to auto. Gegenhardt, Uman, Zakarin attacking. Use up my guys to, at first anyway, defend it. Here comes Boaro. We're going to send him now. We'll go 92s for him as there's a little gap now.
The pack is beginning to cut the lead.
But I'll be able to catch up to these guys.
5 kilometers to the finish line. Oh my, the guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends.
They're using a lot of energy, and meanwhile I'm fresh, and we're back with them.
Again,
Most of them, anyway.
The group has to break apart.
Okay, now at the plus. Alright, here's that false flat section, just a little saddle here, and then we go up towards the finish, and I'll be on my own for that part, but those guys are right there, and I'm going to be a lot fresher than they are, and the plus is pulling us back. And now I'll be on my own from here. Oh, it's 1.3. It's 1.3. Antonio Nibali takes the win. Sebastian Pott. These guys are from the breakaway group. The breakaway group held on. This stage really is not that... oh, man, I'm going to lose a little time to them. Rapaciro, Zacharin, Landa, and Guerrero. I got 8th there. Demoulin, Uman, Gegenhardt. So I actually did get back past those guys. Rapaciro, though, and Zacharin, those guys are going to gain just a little time there.
The riders bringing up the rear have made
that stage just wasn't steep enough.
was a real strength sapper.
Might have been a long climb, but it was pretty gradual the whole way, so it just didn't do enough damage. I mean, you could see from the end, I was attacking hard. I was at, what, 96? 96, 97? I could have gone a lot harder than I did. I mean, I just didn't get buried. And I still caught up to those guys late on. But a few of them did get away. So my team wasn't quite strong enough. I was. Apparently I should have just stayed with those leaders. But in a normal climb, that would have actually been a really good strategy. That would have benefited me, and I probably could have finished minutes ahead of most of the field as they went deep and I did not. It's going to alter the standings a little bit here. Looks like a few of my competitors gained some time, and the others are going to be about on the same time. So we'll see how the standings shake up. I should be somewhere around the top 5 or 6 now. Oh, rain snow mix coming down here. Paolo Blocchi is not going to... he made it in onto the time, so we should be good there. Oh gosh, there's still a couple of riders out there. They did not make it, so he got around a couple guys. So, breakaway group gets the win. Ooh, Roglic. I didn't even see that Roglic was there. 28 seconds that group gained. So, and then the other group ended up on the same time as me. So, like I said, I figured it would come together. The downside was those guys did gain a little bit of time. So, that puts Garrett Thomas on top of the standings with Gegenhardt in second. Roglic now third, Rapaciro fourth, Zacharin, Hamilton, Demoulin, and then I'm just there at a minute 7. I'm still well in contention of this thing, but standings-wise, could be better than it is. That's for sure. Let's see, points, mountains, 125s, Rapaciro leading that one. So we're very much in contention, but that first mountain stage wasn't much of a mountain stage. It didn't quite work out how I planned. My freshness is okay. It's recovering well enough. I mean, we're into the 90s every day. Now here, okay, so this is a hill stage, 229 Ks. So it's going to do some damage towards the end, and this is not going to be an easy climb. This is a good opportunity for me to get somewhere and carve the field up a little bit. This action, it's going to be pretty slow, pretty gradual, so we'll rejoin depending on the pace somewhere along these climbs, or definitely in time before the final climb.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Alright, so we've got a large breakaway group. There are 16 riders in it. One has fallen off the back, but they have a 4.5 minute gap over the field, and we're just starting to reel them back in. It's getting pretty late on for that to happen. 42 kilometers left in this one. We've still got a little bit of climbing on the penultimate climb here to do. It's not very steep though, but it's enough to start doing some damage to the non-climbers, and definitely with that higher pace. Luckily, we're not the only ones giving some sort of chase at this point. For a while, we were the only ones trying to chase it down. It almost looked like the field was resigned to giving the win to the breakaway group, and Valverde is in the breakaway group, so it is a strong group, and that's a lot of riders, 15 to try to reel back in not much time. But you can see just how much the pace really has picked up, and even though I have guys involved in that, we are definitely not the only ones going for it. Bahrain Merida is at the front at the moment. A lot of teams are rotating off the front, and you can see those riders are riding quite hard. Peloton is just getting demolished at the moment as we go over the top of that very basic climb. There's just 28 riders left here, chasing now just 14. Their lead is down to a minute 49 as we go through a minute times 2 here for a while. Go ahead and slow this down for the finish. The final climb, well, that's pretty steep, but then that's not the end. There's a saddle, and then we come up to the end from there. So there's still a chance for some sort of sprint at the end. Bettiol is getting water right now. Let's see how back is he. There he is. Okay, he's coming on up. As soon as he gives water, I'm going to go ahead and reassign the team. We're going to set up that sprint train once again. I've got 4 riders for it this time with Viviani. He'll be on the front. De Plus will protect me. Bettiol will be that next guy ahead. And Boaro back, remaking contact here. 34 riders. So let's go ahead and set that up. There is one rider now off the front. I wonder if that's Valverde. No, Postelberger try to break away from the group there. There you go. Valverde, Incorn, Ede. Not a lot of threats otherwise, but certainly Valverde can go off and win this stage. So, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and set that, and we will get De Plus, and then Bettiol, Boaro, and Viviani. Okay, Cassert. We're going to keep you up front as long as you've got something left here. But Viviani will just kind of get guys on board behind him. There's Boaro. There we go. Casart's going to make his last ditch push right now, and then Viviani will get him going for the climb. Now these guys are going to have to push pretty hard. It's a relatively short climb. We've got less than 13 kilometers to the front already. So 85. And yes, there we go. Cassart, you're done. Just relax, relax. I don't want you. Go back off. Okay, so Viviani making his push. And we have a split at the moment. Nope, didn't last. But it is splitting the field. 50 riders. It was a small split for a moment, but they remade contact. Viviani nearly done here. We'll get Boaro going. It's already down to 6.5 kilometers till the top. I'm going to send him at about a 91, and we're going to really push this thing. There's the breakaway group. It is back together. It's down to 12 riders. They're just over a minute ahead. We'll make contact pretty soon, and Peloton is absolutely getting hammered. And, oh, well, that was quick. You did not last long in that roll, did you? 92.
10 kilometers remaining.
5.6 kilometers to the top. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit resistance fatigued here, but it's barely anything, so I'm staying strong. The Plus, though, might not last very long here, so that's a worrying sign as we make contact with the breakaway group. -1 rider who's gotten off the front. Inkhorn, Valverde, Antonio. No, Valverde's not going. Betiol. What happened? De Plus. Oh, De Plus has got nothing left. Okay. And I lost contact with Betiol, but he's backing off here. Now, I need to make... There's Uman. Maybe that's who I need to grab onto the back of. Okay. Why can't I grab onto... Really relax here. Not now. Guerrero? Okay, we'll follow Guerrero's attack.
And he moves on to the attack. It could be decisive.
I thought we were following the attack. Guess not. 2.6 kilometers. No, I don't want 99s. Okay, I am on my own now, team-wise. Peloton. Down to 7. There's Guerrero. It's definitely one I need to watch out for.
The group has to break apart.
Just 1 kilometer to the top here. Attacking too hard, though, as we're catching Guerrero. 5 riders is all that's left.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
Recover for now. 4 riders is all that we have left. Got to recover for the sprint. 4 kilometers till the end. It's back to 9 riders now. 10 riders, 14 riders. 3 kilometers. There's already an attack. Roglic is going for it. Guerrero's going for it.
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
Basiro.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Coming up on the 1K banner. I don't have much room left to sprint here, though. Now we'll sprint. Now we'll sprint. Guerrero. Yeah, see, I'm out of energy here. Reichenbach, Uran, Formulo, Moscan, Rapaciro, Landa, and I. And then Roglic. There you go. 9 riders. Then we've got time gaps. So Thomas, Dumoulin are losing time. Zakarin and Uman are losing time. Only a little bit for that group. Rosa losing time. Now we're really starting to get into time losses. It's over 2 minutes from here on back. Anybody at this point coming up is going to be out of contention. Gegenhardt's out of contention. Okay, update to the standings coming. That's going to move me up a little bit further in the standings. Small group finish here. Technically, this was just a hill stage. Maybe, just maybe, I could have kept it down to 4, or maybe I would have pushed too hard and lost time myself if I had continued that attack. We were at, what, 3-4 riders there for just a moment, but in backing off, yes, it did put us back up to 9 riders before the finish line, but it ensured that I made it in that group on the same time. I think that safe bet was the right way to go. At least it feels like it. because nobody else was going to attack. It was just me. No, those guys were over a minute behind. Oh. There was definitely no contact between the groups. Significant gap between the groups. How do they get the same times? Come on, game. Come on. Thomas to Uman were very close to a minute behind. I mean, that was not a small gap. It was not a couple bike lengths. We're talking at least minimum 40 seconds. Wow. Wow. So, Garrett Thomas still leading this race, even though he just lost a minute. That was ridiculous. Dumoulin still ahead of us, even though he just lost a minute. I should be in 5th right now. Landa and Uman should have lost a minute here, so they should have lost contact. Well, not lost contact, but, lost a couple places. Up to 3rd in the mountain climbers competition. Still 2nd. As a team, we're up to 3rd. That was absurd. I mean, that was a huge gap. That was not a marginal gap like, ooh, are they going to give us a gap? No. That was a significant gap. Okay, now the fitness peak has completely crashed. There is a 0. It is blank. I don't have the tiredness, at least. But there we go. Now we're in the reset for another build for the next fitness peak. So any race day bonuses are going to be gone now. I still have 97% fitness, so hopefully I don't take on any negatives or anything like that. I don't have the tiredness. I have high fitness. Here's to hoping that this race, which is already going horribly wrong. I mean, we just gain a big advantage there. 5 contenders off the back by about a minute, and then it gives them the same time. That's freaking ridiculous. 176k sprint stage. Just a little bit of uphill here that could affect things, especially if the pace is quite high. So we'll rejoin for those final kilometers. So I literally expected to just show the sprint finish, but I mentioned that this section could do some damage, and that maybe I'd come back early, and amazingly, we're back early. And the damage was done really before this section. We have three riders left in the peloton. The peloton has just 45 riders left. The pace has been so hot chasing this breakaway group that the damage was done long before we got to these little climbing sections, and the field, one after one after one, just keeps blowing up. The only support I had was by Leblocky. The rest of the field was all assigned to supporting Viviani for the sprint for today. And that makes perfect sense. I'm only in 7th place, and I should be able to get to the end on my own, no problem. Well, my support rider, because of that pace, he faded, and he went out the back strong, and these guys had gone out the back before him, but he's before them, behind them already because of the damage. Viviani looking not likely to have a very strong chance in the sprint here, as these teams are just destroying this thing. Now, what I'm hoping for is that maybe 1 or 2 top 10 riders could be affected by this and themselves out the back and struggling to make it. Now, the high point of the stage besides the start, well, we're just about to hit that. And as soon as we go over the top here, it's a descent to the end, so we'll be cruising from there, and I'll be just fine on making it there. But Viviani, not looking so good. De Plus, same. He's trying. He's trying really hard to set up Viviani, but he's having some difficulty with it. 3 riders left out the front. You can see one just ahead of us, half a minute away. 2 more after that, 40 seconds down the road. 10K banner coming up. They should be caught. especially with this crazy pace that we've got. But DePlus now setting up Viviani, trying to get him some recovery before the sprint finish. Of course, my job is to get to the end and go for the race win, so I'm not part of the sprint train. But Tom Dumoulin, of all people, is attacking right now. We got Groenewegen ready. There's Sagan. I don't know which Sagan that is. I don't know if it's Yuri or Peter. There's Moscon, Formulo, Guerrero. So looks like all the main guys are still around here. Not surprisingly. But there are certainly a lot of riders out the back, 43. Just one left to catch. Two riders, one group left to catch. And they still have 50 seconds on us, so it's not going to be easy. They are down to just over 3 kilometers, and we are just now hitting 3.5. We'll try to contest this thing. 2.2, this is the time to start moving up. Moving up.
There we go.
Come on, 99s, 99s, 1K, sprint. Go, buddy. Breakaway group hangs on. Daniel Oss and Lucas Postelberger, top 2. Peter Sagan wins the sprint, but only gets 3rd as the breakaway claims the win. McClay, Moscon, Groenewegen, Viviani does get 7th. And let's see, Garrett Thomas is up there, I'm up there, Guerrero's up there, Uran are all up there. Everybody else was pretty tired by the end. It was a difficult sprint to find some space on, so only managed 15th. On to the next stage, though. 62 kilometers left here in stage number 10. It is a hill stage. It's not a severe one. The final climb is only steep at the final couple hundred meters. But the pace has been pretty hot. We've got a breakaway group of 11 riders that were given a pretty long leash. It's down to 2 minutes, 40 seconds. But at this point, field working pretty hard to reel them back in. Hard enough that there are definitely some riders going out the back. Of course, Spyla Blocky out again. He's already 9 minutes down. Sandali, Cassart, both struggling along a little bit. Things feel like they've settled down just a little bit at this point. Maybe we've gotten that breakaway group close enough again to ease off, but we'll keep an eye on things. Go ×4 at the moment. See how quickly we are reeling them back in and how much damage is being done. We've got the Plus on protection at the moment. Prade's going for the points at the top, which I am 3rd place in that competition right now. It's not something I'm worried about, as I'm definitely worried about the overall. But it would be nice to get that mountain climber's jersey as well. Here's the top of the climb. We're not that far behind now. The one rider's been dropped from that group, and we'll probably reel him back in, but the others are still about 2.5 minutes away. Let's speed things up for a while. Some damage done to the field, including myself. I've got a -2 race day condition, so here comes that crash after the end of the fitness peak is starting to become apparent. The only thing affecting me today is a resistance of -2. A fighter of -2, maybe. Flat -1. No, not really. Just the resistance. Kind of the only concern on that one. It's a hill stage, so it's not my strong suit, but I should be in the final grouping at the end. And especially if I can kind of run a train and follow. Trying that out more and more here to see what that can do. Didn't work out so well on that mountain stage, but that mountain stage wasn't really a mountain stage. I should have pushed them harder sooner. Those guys shouldn't have been able to attack while we were on the front. But that was kind of the problem, was it just wasn't steep enough, so it allowed the strong climbers to push harder than what they were able to do. 35K, gaps coming down. That one rider, we're about to make contact with him. And 84, not quite happening. Pace is hot. Little climb here. Breaks. 30 riders now giving chase. 10 riders ahead. Their lead's down to a minute and a half. Minute 40. And I've got Viviani, Boaro, De Plus, and Betial left, which is decent with just one climb left to go. Peloton coming back together a bit though. 75 riders now. $20K banner. It's a pretty short final climb. 8 or 9K. Slow. I don't want to stop. Just slow it down to normal pace here. Yeah, it's not that steep. We're gonna form up here. Sandali, you're not ready for anything, so we'll keep you out of it. But De Plus obviously is my strong guy. Boaro +5. Yes, please. Actually, hold on. Boaro +5 over De Plus. Viviani. He'll give us that first go. Give these guys a chance to form up behind him. And we'll push just before the base of the climb, so we're out front. 10K banner ahead. Start of the climb shortly after that.
The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
I don't want to go 99, but we will push pretty hard here. Alright. Boy, guys, this is why we wanted to push, so we can get out front. Helps if you're actually... There we go. Okay, 1 minute to the breakaway. Start pushing to 92 here. 6 kilometers to the finish line. Damage is being done, so at a 92 here. About blowing up the entire team at once. A 92 is about as strong as we can push. And there we go. It's done. So we'll try a 93 now as we're down to 4 kilometers here. Peloton down to 38 riders. Well, 39 when we pick up the breakaway rider there. 9 left and we're about to make contact with them. Here comes Guerrero. Moscon trying to push. 34 riders. 94. I've got to watch out because I'm not doing so hot.
And they're off. It's going to be very fast. Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind. And he spurts away from the group. He's going for victory.
Okay, here's the attack for the line. My guys are at least in some sort of contention. I'm right here in the group, so no problems. Winning is Moscon. Gianni Moscon takes the win. Prade is from the breakaway, takes second. Guerrero takes third. Boaro, good for him, 4th place. De Plus is 9th. I've got 14th. I would imagine all the contenders are here in the group.
But the poor souls bringing up the rear continue to cross the line. It's a bit of a knock for the morale.
Probably no changes at the top. Boaro was in better shape than I was on this one. It was hills, and he was a +5. And I was a -2. He rode away from me at the end.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
So Moscon takes the win. 14th, still 7th, No changes at the top. Second now as a team. And we'll be hitting the halfway point here as we begin stage 11 out of 21 of the Giro d'Italia. Serious climbs are going to be coming soon, and with the drop of the fitness peak, the drop of the fitness, tiny bit of fatigue, my damage is starting to come. So we've got a few little climbs on this one. This last one could affect things, so we'll definitely come back before that last one. I doubt these are going to do anything. It is a sprint stage. It's a long one, 242 kilometers, so we'll come back right before the end. All right, 21K left to go. We've got a breakaway group of 13 strong that still has a minute 24 over the group. We are reeling them back in, but we are having a hard time catching them. I am having a hard time catching them. I haven't had the team support like normal. By a blocky gut drop ages ago. The field keeps splitting up into smaller groups and then recontacting. We've got 38 right now, and this is just on the flat. 37 now.
Let's hope that all riders will get up quickly. A rider is down.
We're definitely not going to get larger than, there you go, 74. But without any team support, I'm struggling a little bit with just 16K to go. This is going to be a really steep, punchy climb that would do me well, but without any team support, it's going to be a struggle here. I'm going to use my gel now for this climb. There's the breakaway group. Down to 50 seconds. Around the traffic circle. Back off a lot here. Contact made. I would love to attack here, but I don't have... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't get dropped. Don't you dare get dropped on this. Come on. There's the top. There's the top. Split between the groups. Should come back together. Okay, 34 riders here in the peloton. I'm now right in the middle of the group, hanging on. We've got 7 riders still off the front. And I'm starting to recover a little bit, so I should make it to the end here. Just seconds separating the groups. Those are leaders, so we want to make sure they get reeled back in, and they have. Now just a single rider off the front. No, it's 2 riders. 2 riders off the front. That looks more like 3, but... Matthias Brandl and Rustic. 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers left.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all. And off he goes.
Okay, now sprint. Just make sure I stay in contact here. Viviani is up there. He gets 3rd. Gaviria, Groenewegen, Viviani. Moscon takes 4th. Guerrero, Uran, Uman is there. Rapaciro is there. I'm in the group. That's what's important. Small group at the end. There is a chance that somebody might have gotten dropped at some point, especially if they were facing a similar situation as I was without team support. Stragglers still coming across. Time has already...
Now for the best moments of the day.
The time cutoff already is passed, so there are going to be some riders eliminated today. Make sure that it wasn't any of my riders. Out of time. No, none of my guys. Biola Blocky, last one to make it in on time. Jan Barta is out. So we're down to 157 riders in the field. They do end up on that same time. We've got 41 riders in the final group. No change in the top standings. Viviani now leads the points competition by a pretty decent margin, actually. Alright, so World Tour, we are second. Super Prestige back on top. 1,723 points as of right now. But big task on hand to see if we can't get the win here in the Giro d'Italia with that fitness peak gone, with the fitness level failing, the freshness is not quite there, the fatigue is starting to settle in, and we're just at the halfway point. The real stages that are going to decide the win are still to come. Stage 12, the next one, yeah, not much going on there. Stage 13 is another flat stage, but here we go. Stage 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, and 21 will decide this. We've only had one semi-decisive stage so far, and it wasn't much of a stage. The time we lost on that team time trial is going to be difficult to overcome. And the time that I'm losing to this lack of fitness peak, that's the biggest concern. This is a short stage for stage 12, so I don't expect anyone to get dropped or eliminated, at least of the contenders. Definitely not on 13. Stage 14, 201k and 2 big climbs. That's going to be where the field really starts to get spread out. And I should definitely move up the standings on that stage. Hopefully we don't have a horrible race day condition. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.